Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live, Web3 Network, bringing you the latest here in the NFT industry. Sitting here with some fantastic co-hosts. Look, don't expect anything today. Just have no expectations. Just take it for what it will. It's Friday. We'll see where this goes. Again, we're going to try to get to all that's happening around NFTs and Web3 for y'all, get y'all up to date, and have a good time doing so. DP with the Alive 1111 background. Again, love to see it. What's up, bro?
Nothing, man. Just admiring my background. Feeling good today. Warpcast, actually, I saw today premiered a desktop platform. So maybe we'll talk about that today. Maybe.
Biggie, do you have something to say about Warpcast? No, not today. Don't start it.
Don't get started.
GM, sir.
Don't I don't know. I'm still me. I'm still
as
me.
long as nobody talks about Cappys.
No, you can't.
Just don't talk about Cappys and we're safe.
No. Biggie came back from vacation, a different person.
There was some lack of sleep, maybe, from pushing hard. But dude, this space changes sometimes, and so the person needs to change to meet with that, whatever offensives are thrown their way, right? And so,
Biggie, a wise man once said, sometimes when things change so much, it's a state of mind. That was Eddie Vedder.
Okay, I like Eddie, so I will agree with him, whatever he might have been going through.
Biggie, how was your day outside the Matrix? Going well?
What are you talking about?
Just outside the Matrix, outside the Web3 here. Did you go on your walk and all that stuff? GMs?
No, it's been pretty shitty weather out here compared to where I came from. It's cold. It's like gray. And so I've been there's not been a lot of outside.
We're psychoanalyzing
a lot of me in front of the screen, and I'm not gonna say what I've been doing. You kind of already know, but yeah, look at that.
Oh my God.
Perfect duo. Perfect duo. Look, man. I know nearly nothing about American football, but I know Taylor Swift. And I know she wins.
Wow.
And so therefore, it seemed like the obvious bet. And I'm going for him. Yes.
I think what he's saying is actually how the majority of people are now thinking about the NFL, which is the wildest thing. It's the wildest thing. Like, how many people are all of a sudden caring about the Super Bowl for a wholly different new reason this year? And the fact that you can bet on everything. We were talking about, we need to have our own betting platform for weird little things that we talk about on the show. They're already doing that on Bet Online. You can bet what color t-shirts she gonna wear, all this fucking ridiculous shit people are betting on.
So that means per that tweet, it's definitely in the books that the Chiefs are losing the Super Bowl for sure.
No way, brother. Look at that.
Top signal.
Super Swifty.
I get 10-1 betting against them right now.
All right, we got a lot of stuff going on. So we have 5 folks that are getting themselves deep into this industry and all doing different things. Let's try to make our way around the box here. Huda, how are you doing, sir? How was your day?
GM, sir. Good. Yeah, good day. Really interesting day. A lot I'm looking forward to actually outside of Web3, which doesn't happen much. Some of it touches here. I've got some new gear coming for my little setup, my recording. So I'm looking forward to that. New Kanye album, I think, is actually coming tonight. I think it's actually happening. So I'm pretty pumped about that as well. There's a lot of cool shit going on. I told you guys before the show too, I had my nerves sent to 11, got super excited. I'm on X and all of a sudden I get a DM and a follow from Mario Nafal. And then whatever show he does in the morning, right? I can't remember the name, the crypto something, but they reach out and they wanted me to come up and talk about ERC-404s. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm happy to come up and chat about that. Anyway, they pushed that to next week, but that should be happening. Still a little nervous and excited. So cool.
Here's what we can do. We can get you prepped and ready for that conversation because you're going to hear both sides. You're going to hear both sides on his show. You're clearly going to hear both sides today. Giff, I do want to bring in your post here once we get the episode started. 404 could be the first topic of combo. I definitely hopped into a couple tokens last night as well. Also, BK, if you're listening, dude, I will buy your bag. You press buy. I said this multiple times. Everyone up here knows. Biggie Poppins knows that he can front run me. He can buy, and then I can buy after him. Look, I do that. but don't wait till it goes like 5x, bro.
Yeah.
Like drop it a little bit sooner. Don't drop it just a tad sooner, and I promise you I'll still buy your bags. But anyways, we are going to get into that combo, that 404 combo, because we did hop into some shit coins and around the 404 narrative.
Let's get DP in here first, and then I'll run it. I'll jump in.
Also, real quick, I just want to point out, because we can't call ourselves a Web3 channel without mentioning that Bitcoin is indeed pumping. You're right, Ola. It's pumping. Let's, road to 50,000, hopefully.
Yeah, okay, so real quick, let's just lay the foundation. Guys, please share out the episode here. I'll get a link from over there on X. If you're here already, leave a like on the show. It definitely helps get the most amount of folks into what we're building here. So that would definitely be of help. I'll drop that link here. We are not fine. Oh, I was going to do it. GIF.
Do it.
Go ahead. I already front ran you
please.
yesterday. I had comments that said, no, we want GIF back. So,
But you know what? You take a break, you go away for a little bit, and it makes people miss you even more. So I would be honored to make some way, let the Dob father do the handy dandy today, and then I'll come back strong next week.
You just can't throw me a life jacket here. Okay, we are not financial advisors. Please take nothing of what we say and use it to invest in different products that we're talking about. This is not financial advice. All right, we're going to hop into it again. NFT Live, we're here, 1 p.m. Eastern. All these awesome folks here in the chat. Huda, we just talked about Bitcoin pumping. Obviously, everything is kind of interconnected in this industry. When Bitcoin pumps, some of that liquidity is moving from altcoins or something else. Do you feel like that's going on? Is that what you're seeing on the Crypto Slam side when it comes to kind of looking at where's the liquidity headed and what chains are doing well?
Yeah, I mean, I see what everyone else is seeing here and what we've watched over the past couple of years. I mean, when crypto's doing well, NFTs take a back seat. And I always think it's less about, people dropping prices, because I think we are seeing lower prices for NFTs, but it's more just the volume is pulling back, right? Especially on the Bitcoin ordinal side, because Bitcoin's doing so damn well right now. Like you guys said, that pump's happening. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing any move from one chain to another. Shockingly, Solana's doing excellent. Like Solana NFTs are absolutely cooking right now. So that's following their outage and no impact, none whatsoever.
I'm hearing across my time, I'm hearing some people say that their NFTs are getting hit, or their meme tokens specifically are getting hit, like Bonk and a couple of these others that obviously are a part of that ecosystem. Is that true?
Getting hit in
just
what way?
Price and Bonk being
like
down
or
things
up?
like
Dude,
that.
meme coin mania comes and goes very quickly. That's what I've seen. And if you are holding the bags when it's sort of like the liquidity flies back out again, you're either taking a massive L or you've got to wait until something else spawns another meme coin run. And that's the tough part. I've now been trying to play meme coins several times. I usually get wrecked on meme coins. The truth of gambling, right, is and that's what meme coins are. Most of the shit is all gambling. Is you usually lose. The house usually wins. And again, unless you're really great at timing, like getting in early and getting out quickly on, you usually
in a little bit.
You usually have to wait for something to cycle back or another catalyst to start up another run or make it interesting again, because these waves just come and go so fast.
Yeah, here's a 3-month chart from Bonk. So we saw that amazing run up for the entire Solana ecosystem. It's kind of fallen off since then, but you can see it's ticking up. I mean, especially over literally the last 2 days, we do see a bump off of, I can't even say that ratio there or whatever, that decibel, but yeah, what is that? Fucking 10 cents it's bumping off of, or whatever. So yeah, what do you got, Huda?
Just, I mean, at this point, I thought it's established that when those major cryptos are running, the alts and the meme coins really don't. They also trade opposite each other. I don't trade a lot of crypto, so I don't know for sure, but that was always my understanding. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the meme coins really pulling back right now with ETH and Bitcoin, and again, the big boys doing well.
Yeah, I'll head over there on Deck Screener and see what we can find out about some meme coins as well, because it looks like Bonk, again, was pumping up at least 20% on the day. There's a bunch of people in chat as well. Arsenal, OVOT to yourself, Sir Choina, Ola Art pointing out that Bitcoin is in fact running. Did it get to 48? Where did it hit? What was it?
It's
48?
almost at 48. It's like 47.9 something. Hold on.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm seeing
smash
48
though,
on my front. What's up?
if y'all have been here through the ups and the downs, holding the faith, if y'all been believing the things that we've been saying up here, that this shit was inevitable, that the ETFs would get approved, that crypto was gonna be the future, through all this shit over the last couple years, and you're still here, yo. This shit's happening. I'm getting so excited now about the incoming supply shock to Bitcoin, because it's literally, we're just seeing the beginning of what's going to be a crazy next year. Because understand what's happened now is like this massive milestone of the ETF approvals is behind us, and BlackRock, Fidelity, and like 8 other massive financial institutions with literally trillions of dollars of assets under management are just starting to collect, and they've already got like 10 billion Bitcoin just in the first couple weeks of this shit. And they're just getting started because they have to go out and educate all of their clients and investors. And the halving is right around the corner. Yo, this shit's about to get fucking crazy. Everybody's about to like all these predictions that like this shit's going to shoot past 100K and all this stuff. You're about to see why people have been making these predictions.
I mean, Gif, we are about to see potentially both in crypto and then down the road in NFTs, a type of bull market that we've never seen before. As big as it was a couple years ago, guys, that was
nothing compared to this.
We are seeing something else that we've never witnessed before.
Yeah, I'm like, I get tingles OGs, thinking about it.
That almost scares OGs. Like we almost like try to psy up ourselves into the convo and make sure that we, kind of know that there might be something on the other side of this. So anyways, Biggie Poppins, are we boring you, sir? Are you okay?
No, you're not boring. I'm trying to contain myself and bring myself back to this mythical fucking unicorn that you guys missed. I will say, fucking, yeah, I agree with that take that it's going to be a very different, it's going to be a very different bull run. I am also optimistic that the euphoria and the pumps that we all fucking long for will be delivered, but I don't think they're gonna occur the way most people believe. Because if we go back, in the last phase, we it was a run up, but you were practically either you were holding tokens or you were holding NFTs, right? This time around, you have a lot of apps and things built on top of these protocols, right? And so, things like the Eigenlayer, liquidity, restaking, meta, stuff like that. I do think that along with that euphoria and those massive booms that you're going to see, there is also a very high probability that you will see some of these crash or be exploited due to a smart contract risk or bugs in the code, what have you. So I would just urge everybody to, be mindful whenever they're deciding to ape into something. You're already playing in the fringes of your investment portfolio, whatever that is, and so.
That's sound advice, but if we're just talking about Bitcoin specifically, and again, everything kind of falls out from that. One of the things that does make this very different from the past to what Huda is talking about.
This time is different? Is that what you're saying?
It is because most of these institutional investors are not flippers. They're all long-term holders. So understand that part of this too, is that like the volatility is also going to be going down. Over time, we know volatility reduces, but a lot of this money that's all coming in is long-term investment money. They're all hodlers.
That's very true. But I also think that most of their mentality is going to be precisely that, hodl. They're not going to venture outside of having like custody of their assets, right? Like few will go out a little bit in the risk curve, especially with Bitcoin L2s coming along, right? Like try to earn extra yield. But for example, I know many of us here believe that a lot of this capital is going to come in and pump our NFT Web3 bags. And that part is the one where I think you will see some of that confirmed, and other people are gonna be left pissing in the wind and just fucking, you're not gonna get that satisfaction, and you just have to kind of mentally prepare for that, because as much as this new gargantuan fucking capital is going to be flowing into the space. I think they're going to be very selective and cautious about where they park it. They're not going to be doing what we do out here.
All right, I want to give a quick guys,
uh,
like 2 minutes on this, and then we got to move on.
No, I was just gonna say, moral of the story, for everybody out there, make sure that your parents and grandparents gives you a fiduciary responsibility over their 401k, so you can go out and DGen. That's how we get this done.
Yes.
Good call.
What'd you have, Huda?
Just that, yeah, I don't expect that new money to really come to, all these crazy things that we're into. It goes into the hands of these Bitcoin OGs who've been waiting for this moment for a decade and who are finally to get their big payday. And then that money trickles. It's that trickle down effect, right? It's going to trickle down to the degens finally, like eventually. But I mean, to me, no matter what, that money that does come in and is invested in smarter things does work its way into the DJ.
It does, because even though you're absolutely right that a lot of the new money coming in,
proportion, right? That's I guess what I was trying to say, because sometimes people just think pie in the sky, and they don't think about the different levels.
There's a waterfall that is real that we've seen, right? And to Huda's point, there's people that have been in for a long time that will be taking profits and then reallocating that. But also, to me, the biggest thing is the adoption and the sentiment broadly. I just saw a joke for the first time on I watch a lot of the late shows just on YouTube, whatever, and it's all been just the negative fucking, you've heard it a million times. NFTs are dead. They're crap. They're a fucking joke. I heard them make a joke recently that was actually the first time I've seen it being like, oh, NFTs are making a comeback. That was the general sentiment that I just heard in a Steve, and I'm like, yeah, the change of sentiment when numbers going up and everybody starts looking back at you again is so much different, right?
All right, I want to have the 404 discussion, because right now, if
Let's
we
do it.
actually focus in on the Web3 space, it feels like ordinals. It obviously feels like 404 is taking up a majority of the time. ETH continues to kind of just be there. There's clearly products being built out, but it doesn't feel like anything's capturing a lot of interest. So, guys, other than this 404 stuff, what is actually catching your interest on the Ethereum side? Do we have a quick, just easy answer that you're looking at, that you've interacted with, or you have just seen on the ETH side that is interesting?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
404s. I mean, I can get into that, but I'm open to hearing other people. Are you talking about other things specifically?
Other than 404s.
Other than
right?
404s,
Yeah.
no. I think this is the most interesting thing happening on ETH right now.
Yeah.
Well, you do have
Which,
Eigenlayer shutting down its deposits
Restaking.
later on today. I know a lot of people are kind of weighing that. I am in that particular camp at the moment, and it's one of those things that I have been involved in it in previous cycles. I don't know if I want to add to it for the very reasons that I brought up right now, right? Especially, it's one thing to go and deposit in one, smart contract, but now you have these others where they're trying to incentivize you with points and with other things, to do restaking. That just starts sounding very much like mortgage-backed securities to me. It's added level of contract risk. I hope nothing bad happens, and that everybody has their points and can eat them too or do whatever, right? But
over 25% of Ethereum is now staked.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually a crazy milestone that has never happened before. So if you're wondering what's happening on Ethereum, it's a lot of people are just staking or sitting by on the sidelines. But 404 is one of the things that has shown that there is a lot of liquidity out there that's sitting by looking for a shiny object and getting hyped up about a possible bull run.
All right, I'm going to show off these meme coins really quick on the Solana side, because we did start the combo there. Dog with Hat has obviously been one that's been in the news a bunch. This is the daily chart, by the way. So you can see they are definitely bouncing, even as Bitcoin is moving, even as Ethereum is moving. I haven't checked the Solana chart. I just had the bonk chart up. Let me see if I can find that. But yeah, these meme tokens seem to be moving pretty well, everything considered. You can see Bonk was kind of ranging for the longest time. Catfish is another one that seems to be trending, but yeah, meme coins seem to be doing okay. And then Huda, you were also saying on the NFT front, they seem to be holding as well.
It just in general NFT
Just
prices
on the Solana
Yeah,
front,
I mean,
the Solana side.
on the Solana front, doing exceptionally well. Yeah. So NFTs looking all right. By the way, as far as like going back to the question, what's happening on ETH at the macro level, my comment was more about that there's not much happening. But micro level, there's some interesting things happening. I don't know if we're going to get into that here today. Like Franklin selling his iconic gold Bored Ape, right? I mean, that's kind of a story. And the Legends of the Mara mishandling from Yuga Labs, like that's not great at all. And then that Sotheby's auction for the Ether Rock, I think, is like one of those cool small stories. So there's definitely stuff happening, just nothing that's kind of groundbreaking.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing right now, it's actually really funny because we had the WeBump team in on Say What this in the morning. Great show, by the way. I want to give a shout out to WeBump and all the folks that tuned in for that. They were talking about the parallels again, throwing out Solana as a comparison to what's happening on Say, or at least like in that new ecosystem. They mentioned Magic Eden was kind of a savior for Solana. It's kind of what saved at least the initial sentiment because they were able to have these NFT communities be there and be a touch point for a lot of people when everything else was fucking wrecked. And it's funny because, using that parallel, and we're talking about ETH, this is probably one of the bigger stories of the day or the past week is that Magic Eden is starting to move forward on this creator alliance, this essentially trying to save royalties and have a royalty enforced marketplace, having a ton of the heavy hitters, obviously Yuga Labs, Pudgy Penguins, Azuki, Oniforce. Like, look, I mean, the list goes on and on. There's about 50 projects, it seems like, in that post. Yeah, I guess before we get into 404s, let's talk about Magic Eden here with this, and then we could sprinkle in some Yuga stuff too, because damn, that was bad to see. But yeah, thoughts on Magic Eden?
So I think this is absolutely massive. I think it's huge, and we can unpack all the reasons why. I wanted to throw in one other quick update and headline on this is that Oniforce just announced that Magic Eden is their launch partner also for the Fallen. So that's fucking dope. And it's another example of how Magic Eden is aligning themselves with a bunch of amazing communities and creators. We're obviously Oni Ronins, love that community very much. So excited. This feels very different than if they'd partnered with an OpenSea, right? Because of all this work that Magic Eden's been doing to align themselves with the creator community and the community in general, as well as collectors, the collector and the creator community. I think this is massive because the marketplaces do hold a tremendous amount of influence and power on how this space is shaped in its early formative stages. And my hope was always that they would take a more community focused direction, that they would actually want to support the network of creators, the community that are the builders that are making this shit, and the collectors, and not just be extractive, corporate, etc. Not just be Web 2 and just treat it like, well, we're just going to be this centralized enterprise and take all your money and transactions. And other than that, we don't really fucking care what happens because we're going to make our bags and bounce. The hope was that the marketplaces would actually do more of this. So I know Q, you were being very skeptical that it's like, oh, well, they're just a marketplace. And so this creator alliance is somehow
why you always phrase it like I'm just like, oh,
no, like, dude, you were being skeptical when I brought this up because Magic Eden was a marketplace. Were you not? I'm not trying to attack you. I'm trying to say you were being skeptical.
Okay. When you make
you
sure
said leave them out of
me, you make sure to quote me, understand what I said instead of rephrasing it and repackaging it for your narrative. That's all I will say going forward. Is what I told you was basically back in the day when we had this royalty discussion is that the marketplaces are going to figure it out. There will be a marketplace that will spring up that will say, we're going to do this. We're going to do this the right way. It happened to be the fucking one that started the whole thing to begin with. And so inside that narrative, yes, that was the words that came out of my mouth. So go ahead and finish your thing, but make sure that it's the right thing that I said and not trying to repackage it.
Don't put words in my man's mouth.
All right, so sure. Point is, there was skepticism around Magic Eden for good reasons. I agree with all of that. But I still think that this is a tremendously valuable and important movement. And like I was initially saying would have to happen, there has to be some kind of union, some kind of something of all these big projects, the people that have communities, that have power, that influence, coming together to create better standards in the space. Otherwise, it is just a race to zero. It's just capitalism. It's just money, and nothing else fucking matters. And that's what I see here. I'm hoping that this, whatever is being formed with this Creator Alliance, whatever Magic Eden's part of that is, I actually think that they're more powerful having the marketplaces as their partner, right? Because they can actually ensure that whatever they're building takes root somewhere. It's not just theory of a bunch of creators, clamoring for like, we want this. It's like, no, somebody can actually help put this into action, into practice. So I'm very bullish about this Creator Alliance.
Hey man, shout out to Magic Eden for spearheading creator suffrage and establishing the first creators union. That's it.
Biggie, Huda, thoughts?
No, I love it. I just love that they've got all like the thought leaders in the space, people who I actually do respect. Like almost that entire list is people I would love being the ones that are helping to shape, the future of this. They're the ones building it. I'd like to see them have the largest voices in shaping it. So, until we see the marketplace and what they're actually building and how, can't have a lot of deep thoughts about it, but just overall really like it.
Quick answer, make it lightning. Is OpenSea like pretty much done? Are we just done? Are they going to take part in this next cycle?
Nah. I just think, again, like Rarible, they'll just kind of be their own little thing and they'll get used for certain products. They'll have some big things that happen. Too. They'll get some really, really big name partners for specific launches, but I think they're just going to be what they are now. We'll see what their next, 2.0 thing is.
I don't like how silent OpenSea is being. I'm kind of disappointed in them. So for now, I would say yes. Hopefully they come up with something innovative and they roll some shit out. Other than that, then yeah, they're done.
I'll take their silence over any type of fluff, right? I would have thought that by now collections would have their own personal marketplaces, kind of like punks do. There were, I don't know if you guys remember that there was a time when everybody was talking about implementing that, and I believe there were a couple of projects that were trying to come out with like self-serve kind of dexes. I think it's a noble idea, attempt. Let's see how it plays out. It's never, I think, perfect, the way that we'd like to envision it. So I do take it with a grain of salt and some hesitation as to how that's going to play out effectively. But let's see, I think when you bring a whole bunch of voices, prominent voices in the space together to, you still need to coordinate those voices. And so if they can align themselves and not make it like an ego echo chamber where everybody's trying to then maybe they can be effective in moving the space forward. If not, then it'll be like so many other DAOs that just kind of fall by the wayside, right? Either way, I think it's something that we will continuously see people attempt, and you need to, because at some point, I do firmly believe that somebody will come up with some type of formula or say this is how these things should be run, right? And let's see. I think, in the end, human coordination is great, but you will never be able to abstract charisma and leadership, and they kind of go hand in hand. Nobody's gonna follow, and show me an uncharismatic leader in history ever. Alexander the Great, Napoleon, Caesar, you name them, all of them. Diplomats, charismatic, and people who are willing to follow them to the ends of the earth. You need people like that, and there's not a handful of them. There's very few people that are able to do that, especially these days when you're in social media and everybody wants to be Caesar. Everybody wants to be the one. So that's my only hesitation here. Let's see how it plays out. I'm all for it. The idea, great. Now let's see it implemented.
All right, very quickly, I'm going to rearrange the room a little bit. This is NFT Live. We do it 1 p.m. Eastern every single freaking day. That you guys in the chat, I will get to in just a moment. There's some heavy hitters over there commenting. If you're watching us afterwards, thank you guys for tuning in. Please leave a like as you kind of watch through the episode if you want to support guys that are up here on the stage. If you're watching us on X, we see you guys rolling in. We pressed live about 30 minutes ago, so we'll continue about halfway through the episode now. So Easy in Crypto. Nice to finally catch a live this week. Good to see you, sir. Quasar as well. Wolf K, Choina is here live with us. So it's really cool to see some OGs in the house saying OVOT. Rasta the Ape, good shout out there. Ola Art, will NFTs on Bitcoin increase in value significantly after the halving? I haven't even really thought about that. We're like 97% of the way in to the next halving, and we're right there.
Well, it's interesting because we've all wondered the same thing with our Ethereum NFTs. Like, if Ethereum hits, 10, 20,000, do we reprice our NFTs? We're going to learn that on Bitcoin sooner than we are on Ethereum, I think, which is great. So still, ultimately, who knows? But I do think they get repriced in USD values.
All right, good one there. I am going to touch on, I don't know what post you're talking about, Marty McFly, but there is a comment that Huda made earlier about Yuga Labs that I want to jump into. Here's a post by Garga, TLDR, and we'll kind of get into it in just a second. They had a fumble with the Legends of the Mara. Garga's coming out, the CEO or the head of gaming, Spencer Tucker, is coming out. Jeff is saying this, right? And I kind of commented, and it kind of sucks that Marty's here to load on. But this was my comment to Jeff. I said, Jeff, you guys really got to figure this out. Get a couple W's. Getting tough to defend the brand in shows, etc. And this won't help sentiment. I'm sure it looks different from where you're sitting, but I think a majority of us on the outside feel this way, still rooting for y'all. And he commented back, I agree. Right? So this is Jeff Nicholas, a community member. I think, Gif, you initially were connected to him, but he's the creative director of Bored Ape Yacht Club. But go ahead, Gif.
Jeff is an OG in the space. He was one of the founders of Warp Sound, which was a really cool audio project. He's a absolutely phenomenal creative director, builder, developer who joined Bored Apes probably about a year ago. And yeah, I think he's more on like the community side. I don't actually know exactly. He's doing a lot. I'm sure he's wearing a lot of hats over there. I don't know exactly how in the gaming side of things he is. But yeah, man, I hosted a panel at Comic-Con in LA on Web3, and he was one of the panelists, the 5 panelists that came out to that. And he's been on some of our early spaces. He's an amazing dude. And yeah, we want them to win. He's in a tough spot, right? Because he's one of the more public facing sort of members of that team right now. So a lot of the stuff that's going wrong, whether or not he has any control over it, I think he's going to get a lot of the attention just because of how public he's been in the space for how long he has been. And so I feel for him on that regard. I know he's an incredible dude and an incredible operator. But I think he probably came into a pretty tough situation that he's trying to clean up.
Here's a take that I want Huda hear in just a second. Ramon is saying, I'm bearish Daniel Allegre, to be honest. Things have gotten so bad since he assumed. Activision Blizzard also represents the past, not the future. It's clear we are entering dangerous territory for Yuga from here. And I got to say, I completely agree with him. Huda, go ahead.
So spot on. Actually, I'll comment on that first. Yeah, Daniel.
Marty.
I'm thinking of what's the other guy? Their head of like community. Illa. Is that who I'm thinking of? What's his name? Whatever. The producer guy. Anyway, I think they brought in a lot of people who just aren't Web3, and it comes through. It just shows with everything they do, that's not a brilliant novel thought here. That's something we've talked about, but it just shows with every single decision that's being made there. And it's taken the OGs to come in and correct it. The guys who were born in Web3, basically, they are what made Yuga Labs so special.
It's felt like Gordon has had to come in on multiple occasions and be like, guys, this is all good. We're going to figure it out. And there's only so many times you can do that.
Yeah, and something changed this time because I saw people on my timeline that I know are Bored Ape holders. They have their PFP set. They've always defended, and they've always been, and it changed. This time, finally, everyone's like, I can't do it much longer. You guys, it can't be everything you do that there's a misstep. And
yeah,
it's something. Yesterday's was a little worse.
So I fully agree with all of that, and especially what Huda's saying about the hiring practices have not caught up yet to the space. And I've seen a lot of businesses that are trying to tackle Web3 products and initiatives that are doing exactly what you said. They're looking for Web2 experience, and they don't understand how to actually vet for legitimate Web3 native people that really understand the space. Other than, I think some of them look for advisors just on X, people with big followings, and you see that sometimes. But I agree. One of the things that has to change is a lot of these companies that are trying to enter need to get a much better head. We see see it with a lot of NFT projects and who the advisors or the agencies are that advise them on how to launch their projects. That's the same problem of why we see so many bad entries into the space, is that they're hiring agencies and they're hiring advisors who they're not tapped in. They don't fucking know what they're doing. So they're selling outdated strategies from like 2021's playbook, etc. It's the same shit. I still think a lot of companies don't do an D on the space and to understand who's really in it, who can actually achieve the things that they're talking about. The Dio Alegre piece is tough because I think he has a lot of skill sets that they need to get to where they eventually want to go, but he may have been premature for that. They might not have been ready to make that big of a leap to where his skill set was really the right one. Or they just shouldn't have put him into that like front-facing CEO role. They should have said, look, even if he's the CEO, or make him the CFO, and maybe he's actually operating like this, like the CEO. But what we don't need to know, it's just that guy does not. He's not the face that.
Yeah, man.
It's a really great point, DP. I want to get you in. It's a really great point on Gifted's side because it was at the same time Gordon left, or around like Gordon had left maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So it was like this move from like Uber fucking Web3 to Uber suit, and it was like, what the heck is going on? But go ahead, DP.
Yep.
Nah, man. I mean, it's the same. It's the tale of the oldest time with a lot of these, even with projects. Big companies launching products, right? Like, even I always go to the example of Google Glass. Like, Google Glass had it right as far as like the concept, right? But what they fucked up at is that they had fucking Mike from the Scrum manager running around Silicon Valley modeling the shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to put the people with the charisma in play to market something, right? Like, nobody wanted to see Uncle Danny, trying to, market what was going on with Yuga. Like, it was I know Marty is happy right now because we're finally, addressing.
It's not as bad as he's saying, but yes.
Yeah, but Marty over exaggerates. But we love it. But yeah, man, and it's just you have to have the right people in place. And as far as Gift's point, what companies don't understand, and when people are hiring for Web3 don't understand, is that this is a 24/7 space. So you need DJs like us that operate in the space at least at minimum 10 hours a day. You know what I mean? They still don't understand how to go, and they get these people with these big followings. They don't even understand how to look at engagements to make sure that it's actually authentic engagements and that people are actually paying attention to what they're talking about. They just didn't have a good year back in 2020 or something like that where the following grew tremendously, but now they're irrelevant to the space and people no longer listen to what they have to say. You got to figure out how to find these ground level people, man.
He was the last one that put out a post, and I'm not saying that's the worst thing. Sometimes, like on the ground, folks put out something before the CEO sometimes, but he was the last one. There was like 5 other people that posted before him, which seems to be a recurring thing. Like he's always kind of not. He's more reactive than proactive. It has felt like since he's been in charge. So Dookie Dash has to hit. Go ahead, Huda.
How worried are you guys that given their track record now with the Bored Ape IP, that they could damage the CryptoPunk, I guess, IP as well, right? Like that's been Beanie's one concern. He's like, the only thing you got to do with CryptoPunks is leave them alone. And now Yuga Labs is building with them. They've got like the artist in residency, I think is really cool. But the more they try to push and grow and do something, they now don't have a good track record of doing that. Could they fuck up CryptoPunks? I don't think they can. I'm just putting it out there, just a conversation thing.
They can definitely turn the CryptoPunk community against them. If they're not satisfied, right? Like you said, like I don't think they can take away what they have, right? Which is the provenance and the art and the community, but they can sure as hell piss them off, and we know what that does. To pissing off any of these Web3 communities. People take this way too personally.
Imagine if somehow, I'm inventing a scenario, but if they alienated the punk community and they turned on Yuga Labs, like, oof, I could not imagine a worse scenario than that. Because that's the one thing that it, in a way, legitimizes them Yeah, in a way it does. Like the Bored Ape thing, of course. I mean, that's always going to be a thing. But CryptoPunks is different. And you lose them.
Yeah, I don't think it legit. I would hate to see that because it's kind of the narrative that we've been talking about, right? Is that everything is cool on these other chains, it's brand new, and all we see on ETH is this infighting and kind of like drama that we see, and that would only perpetuate that. I don't think either need each other. You know what I mean? Like, it would suck if that did happen, but Bored Ape Yacht Club, as long as they hit on these other things they're doing, doesn't need CryptoPunk, nor do the punks need them. So it's a good question though, Huda. Like, because if that did happen at the same time that another side doesn't hit hard, which I'm becoming, even more bearish on, I'm like, okay, God damn.
Now, are Meebits possibly the catalyst for something like that? Like Meebits being the last Larva Labs minted thing, and clearly the future of them is in other side, or at least that's going to be a big utility. And so, what if the Larva Labs, the OG CryptoPunks, get their Meebits and they just hate what's going on in other side? Is that something that turns the floodgates on for FUD?
You don't need much, right? Like all you need is somebody with the right fucking sentence posted at the right time, some indignant person or what have you, and to latch onto, and you're off to the races. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't take.
They should have never bought CryptoPunks in the first place. They should have left the shit alone and let CryptoPunks be what CryptoPunks are or is. Like they should have never fucked with them in the first place.
I also know Larva Labs did not want part in like the community
exactly
and all of that. And having said that, yeah, maybe the person was, the adequate person to take on this project or acquire it was not Yuga. But no,
I loved it. Cause I don't know. It's, to me, it spoke more about the people running Bored Apes, that they appreciated, how significant. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, they honor and respect it. Now they want to, be the shepherds of that community or whatever. By the way, everything I'm saying here too, it's literally just to spark conversation. I don't feel like anything's going to happen there with CryptoPunks. Yeah. I think that, but to your guys' point, I think they're just their own independent thing, and really Yuga Labs does not affect them one way or another.
The other side piece is interesting. A lot of people want that to pop off. It's an incredibly deep rabbit hole that I don't want to go down, but like the GameFi narrative, you guys can feel is kind of taking a back seat a little bit to all of this alt chain stuff, kind of chasing all that stuff. It does feel like maybe we're not even ready for that moment with the other side. Just the amount of people that are playing these games. I don't think we've yet found a game. There were a ton of people fudding Shrapnel. Shrapnel had its first kind of public playtest yesterday, and people were fudding it. And yet, Biggie, like gamers are kind of negative folks. You know what I mean? Like we're always gonna kind of FUD it and find the problems. But I just don't know if we're ready for that large scale moment yet. It's gonna be FUDed to death. I think. I
don't know if we're gonna have it. And it's funny, the longer we wait to get it started, like other side, the longer, the more opportunity you're giving Epic, and you're giving like a Rockstar to make their Web3, Grand Theft Auto, and then what was all this for?
Yeah. I don't think that. So Marty's saying other side mint was the end of BAYC. It's obvious in hindsight, or the beginning of the end. And there's a lot of people in the community that still are thinking they're gonna fucking figure this out. And that's where I even wanted to message Jeff after he replied and be like, bro, what the fuck is going on? That's where all these apes are coming from, bro. I'm telling you, like, we don't want it to obviously not like blow up. But we're just looking at it like that's such a simple thing. The Legend of the Tomorrow thing was a thing that could have been. They were supposed to have this council that they kind of pinged ideas off of, or kind of pinged whatever they were going to push, and they were going to give them feedback, and it didn't happen. People were like saying they need another council, like kind of just memeing that. But what's happening, guys? Like it's.
Could I ask a question that it is a little personal, and so you definitely do not have to answer, right? But you as a holder, and then you're just thinking about the value side of NFTs, is there a point where you're genuinely worried about your investment?
I sold an ape. So I sold an ape. I've sold a couple mutants. Like they've done, for me, exceptionally well over time. As far as what I have left, if I hadn't sold anything, it would be a different question, is what I'm trying to get at. You see what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
If
definitely.
it would,
Are other people in the community there though, in that headspace where they are a little worried about that?
I think they are. I think a ton of people have sold apes over the past year just because it's been there hasn't been a save where they can point to and say, okay, maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year, this will be at 50 or 100 or whatever. They're looking as holy shit, it's been down only, and now they keep misstepping. So Huda, I think to answer your question, there are a ton of people that are like, I have to go. I have to go.
Wow.
Marty
Wow.
saying they should have just completed the stupid cartoon roadmap from the beginning that ends with a Miami bar. Marty,
that would have
Marty's
been
right.
So Web3 and the way to go. He's
Arsenal saying
right.
other side dead before it started. Everyone gonna be chilling on Disney X Fortnite. Real Choina saying real punks weren't asking for utility. Sure, it sucked watching apes make bank, but I was fine with how punks were. Yeah, some great comments over here. Easy saying don't touch punks.
And at the same exact time, they have the ApeCoin DAO stuff happening. It's just here's how I'll end it positively. Biggie Poppins is up here, and he has mentioned before that once it does go in the other direction, the amount of momentum that apes could have and these other blue chip projects have, it'll go. You know what I mean? It'll come back. But it's just we need some of those just pushing. I feel like Sisyphus right now, like going fucking all the way back down and just.
All this is setting up for a great comeback. All right, that's what it is.
Yeah. All right,
let's hope so.
I'm gonna transition to some positive stuff. DP, you dropped this post here for us. What's going on with the NYC Labs, the Naked Dobbs, and the Live 1111?
Woo! Well, first of all. Let's shout out. Dial Radio comes back today in approximately.
It got rescheduled.
Yeah. What? Shit. To when?
Next week, I think.
Until further notice, I think. Like they haven't given us a date yet.
All right, so scratch that. Never mind. I saw the Live 1111, which is in my background. Boom. It looks like, I don't know. Simply posted something today. If you scroll down, he posted something that said it was a bit of a random tweet that said tier 2 claim. I don't know what it means. The rock looks cool. It looks like a nice.
It looks cooler than an opal.
Yeah, with the Alive 1111 tag all over it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's something that's coming. I don't know if he's hinting at something, but I'm excited for it. Whatever it is.
All right. Well, we love Simply here on the channel, so we'll give him a shout out there. I'll drop that tweet in the box as well, just in case he's saying, "Damn, I love you, Q, but bro, it's over."
Oh no!
Damn. Florida, get the fuck out.
We'll see, man. Biggie, I feel like you're almost. I believe I feel like you're almost. You've mastered this, having dealt with the Moonbirds FUD, and clearly, like Moonbirds is like making some right decisions.
I have. It's very simple. You just don't look back. And like, if you believe in the team, if you believe in what they're building, if you like the community, then stick around and just fucking, let that shit bounce off of you. Like I don't know. I think you see it done in so many other arenas of life. I don't understand why in Web3 people insist on telling you what shit is supposed to be like and how it's gonna play out. It's a fucking 3-year-old goddamn industry. The fuck Yeah. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Not even the dudes building know. So what the fuck do you know? In my opinion, when you first invested, you invested for a reason. You did right. You de-risked Q. Like, man, I don't know. Like, if you believe in Yuga, if you believe in what they're building and you want to give them a shot, I mean, I do think they have ample runway. Then just hold, right? And if you're not, you can exit, right? It's just the people that always want to fucking tell you how things are. I have no, it's not even the patience for me. It's just like, I don't hear it. I don't hear it.
PJ like, pointing out.
You are an actual person and you can point to shit that you've built in real life and you have skin in the game. I care not what you say.
Yeah, a lot of people out there with all the hottest takes are the people that have never actually tried to execute anything difficult in their lives. So that's a great point. PJ's pointing out the obvious zig and zag here. While everybody's scared, right, that might be the time to buy it. Not financial advice. We're not financial advisors, but somebody might play this very right and do tremendously well if and when things do end up turning around. But that's also part of why I'm still very interested in 404. We didn't really get into that discussion, but the fact that so many people are fudding it and trying to pick holes in it, and yet there's something about it that's actually interesting and innovative that people are running towards at the same time is part of why it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, let's jump into the 404 discussion. I just want to make sure that we hit some of the comments first. Choin is saying, which of the tribe am I not following on Farcaster? So drop your Farcaster tags if you have them in the chat. I'm not there yet. I don't know if Biggie Poppins is there yet.
I am. Biggie Poppins.
He's the biggest Farcaster bull. Are you kidding?
Yeah, man.
And after what we went through this week, I don't blame you. Easy and Crypto saying almost scored a cowboy hat moonbird for just underneath, but wasn't fast enough. And what else do we have? We got some tags there. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Kerry Ross, GM to you. Hey Yuga was up against a shitstorm of stuff, and I think they did pretty good. The market just changes, buyers change, needs one all over the place. It's fair. Even Yuga deals with the mentality of the space being what's the shiny new thing. All right, Panther, this post, and then we will jump over to your post, Gifted. But Yehuda, you just dropped this. Let's wrap it up. Franklin is bored, officially out of the Yacht Club. At least his gold ape is.
There it is. Your new gold ape owner. I don't even know who this guy is, but yeah, just interesting to see. It is an iconic ape, I guess. Right?
Let this be the moment. This is the change. When Franklin left and we got this dude, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. I'll follow him for the first time. Panther, this is the moment where Franklin is board, a renowned ape, but also very mired in controversy, changed to something brand new, someone brand new without all of the drama and BS. It's all behind us. Panther is the new McDonald's gold ape, and we shall rise. All right, Gifted. What do we got here, man? 404s we've been touching on in the last 4 or 5 days. We didn't get in as early as we'd like, and we're still kind of looking at the drama. 0x quit, put out a bunch of stuff, but what's up?
Look, last note on the Bored Ape. I don't mean to shade D Allegre too much, but I do think if they'd made someone like a Jeff Nicholas more prominent early on, that it could have made a world difference. But all right, that's the last thing I have to say on that.
Web3 more prominent from the beginning.
Exactly. Somebody, a face who's deep in it, like Jeff. I actually think like if he was more, anyway. All right, 404. You had it up. I published my little untechnical analysis, which is basically a summary or a synthesis of the conversations.
I'm gonna try to talk here so that you can actually talk once I bring it up. All right, go ahead.
All right. This is basically me synthesizing the thoughts from our awesome conversations we've been having this week across our network, plus listened into Leap's space last night where OX Quit, who, Cat's Fanatic was bringing in some of OX Quit's analysis on this into our Telegram. OX Quit joined Leap. They had a great conversation. So all of that, I kind of, after that show, I tried to condense how I'm thinking about it right now. So if you want to just scroll down kind of to the bottom kind of last paragraphs of it, this kind of summarizes where I'm at with it. And that's that. Okay, OX Quit is an amazing dev, and he's voicing the concern that basically this field, like he's looking at it from the code perspective, right? And he's just saying this is kind of just mashed together haphazardly. It's done really rudimentary and quickly, and from a code perspective, it's not very pretty, it's not very innovative, and it could potentially at scale introduce some kinds of problems. So technical, there's possibilities that at scale, there could be some kind of technical issues with the way that this is built. That's fine. I can't really get further into analyzing the technical pitfalls of this, but what I'm seeing is that the devs and technical people are a lot of times they're so focused on the code and the technology aspect, a lot of times they're just kind of blowing smoke up their asses. And I'm not talking about OX quit. What I mean is like you think about Harmony, you think about a lot of chains, and all they're doing is they're like circle jerking on their transactions per second. And like they're just so focused on these like technical specs that they lose complete sight of what ultimately drives adoption is the user experience. It's the end user, stupid. That's what fucking matters. And so what I think is happening here is that a lot of people are focused very much on like, oh, I don't know if the tech is this or that or like whatever. But yo, what it just did is it very simply by just mashing together two standards, it took ERC-20s and ERC-721s and just quickly sort of stuffed them together. And it created basically a way more simple and elegant fractionalization process that actually flips the process where normally you have to buy JPEGs and then you like dematerialize and fractionalize those JPEGs. And then you have to go through this really convoluted way of getting to this DeFi thing. And you're sort of like hacking in DeFi on top of the JPEGs. And it's a nightmare experience. Again, user experience is not good. I've tested flooring. It's just not a great user experience. It's not. But now with this just sort of quick mash together thing, what you've done is you've seamlessly integrated DeFi and NFTs in a way more simple and elegant user experience where you can just go on fucking Uniswap and degen, and you're basically building and generating JPEGs by collecting ERC-20s. So again, it's flipping and inverting the fractionalization process in a very simple way and making it way easier to get DeFi and NFTs to come together. And I think that's what I'm not hearing enough people understand yet is the reason why this might work isn't because, oh, they came up with this poetic fucking new code that's so innovative. It's like, no, the user experience might be a 10x leap forward, and that quantum leap forward and just the end user having a more seamless and frictionless experience, that might actually make this stick around. And keep in mind, I'm not saying that this very well could be a short-term flavor of the month meta. It's very risky, and also ERC-404 is not even a real token standard. So it's marketing. So all of that said, I'm just pointing out that the innovation is in a quantum leap forward in user experience and combining DeFi and NFT in a more elegant way. That's why I think it could be interesting.
Follow-up question. Who's going to be the guinea pig to test this novel tech out? Because it ain't fucking me.
I'm putting small amounts.
I think you're muted, by the way.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Look, Gif, business principle here, they met them where the people are. Instead of saying, I go to charge particles, easy. I see you talking about charge particles there. They did this shit, in a sense, they did this shit 3 years ago, right? You could make an NFT into a piggy bank. You could put ERC-20s inside of an NFT, all this different stuff. This is a little bit different on the tech side, and also it met them where they fucking were. It wasn't go to this goddamn other protocol and then do it. It was right where they're at, and I agree with Gif. It's a 10x improvement over the previous innovation, and that's why it's so fucking.
And how many X
so
is
fucking
it
hot.
risk-wise?
How much what?
It's a 10x improvement, and it's a 10x narrative at the moment. But what I'm trying to quantify is like, what's that translate in risk terms? Because
it's very risky.
Well, that's
100% risky.
Like, yeah, I don't see many people highlighting that other than OX Quit and a couple of other people. Again, I'm very, very dubious.
If you saw the thread though, and I pointed this out in the Telegram, like there were detractors on that thread. Did you see the replies? They were basically like, you set this up to fail. Like the way that you built this was to fail. I can pull up the replies right now. And so there's detractors on both sides, and it felt like it was just, like I said, it was just confirmation bias from both sides. I agree.
It's a lot of fun to see these people like wax poetically or get into the weeds of this technology. I love geeking out on this, but in the end, it's nascent technology that requires, users and testers. And yes, there is a great reward for people that decide to take the risk, assuming, nothing bad happens. It's just, for me, I feel like I've seen that this show. Yeah, it's way too familiar to me.
Can I play?
I'll play with Farcaster for sure. This one, I'm not touching.
Farcaster is a much more like
DP,
real value in innovation. This is just a financialization twist, but it does actually improve UX. Sorry, DP.
Nah, just for the sake of argument and adding to it, I want to play devil's advocate real quick. And you know, I love my real world analogies. If let's say it was a new protein powder release, right, and everybody's getting these fucking great gains from it. If a medical expert and a fitness expert comes out and tells me that the ingredients that these were thrown together with are shit and it's killing you, it could potentially kill your insides. Who am I to argue with them and say, well, no, bro, you know, it's about the fucking gains. Do you see these muscles that I have now? You see how my abs are coming through now? All because of this protein powder. I mean, I'm not a developer. Look, I'm not a dev. I do understand some dev talk, but you know, if an expert comes out and is ringing the bell and, you know, having a red flag, just because of the nature of the market that we're in, and we've seen like how catastrophic some of this stuff can be when it goes bad. I mean, I'm not saying not to try it. I'm just saying I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let everybody else try
it. The thing that I would love to see also, DP, in that realm is like get it audited, right? Get that tech audited and make people a little more comfortable with taking that risk. But they didn't do that, right? They went right at the fucking market and fucking
as they should. This is Web3. You build the product out in the open and you test things and you do things, and it's up to you if you want to throw $50, if you want to throw $5,000.
Hold on. Yes, it's true. That's fair. That's a way to go. But I think like proper established practices when it comes to DeFi in particular is to get shit audited. Eigenlayer contracts are audited. A lot of these others are audited. You pay, it costs, it takes some time. Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that, Q? Because I think it's standard practice with any DeFi protocol.
Because they're building out in the open, and if you want to use the product, you can use it. All I'm saying, it was a really fucking dope experience from the end user's perspective to go to Uniswap, buy a token, see the NFTs in my wallet. That's all I've said from the very beginning. I don't know what this looks like in 20 years, in 2 years. I bought some of these because I like the experience of having NFTs that were eventually, it could fully ass rug.
Again, can we hold both ideas to be true? Which is
that's what I'm.
All of these concerns are valid. It should be audited. It takes time. It's very risky. A lot of these early projects are going to be pump and dumps because what this is more closely oriented right now to shit coins and meme coins than it is to quality NFT projects. But what I'm really excited about is what Q said: is where can somebody take this technology? Will there be a really legitimate, convincing team that is able to layer in the cultural aspects of NFTs along with this super powered fucking DeFi quote unquote standard? I don't know, but I love DP's health and fitness analysis or his metaphor here, and to run with that, what I would say is like, yes, you're right, and a lot of people are going to listen to that. They're going to say my biology reacts negative to this, and a lot of people are still going to go take steroids and smoke cigarettes, and now we're about to get these supercharged Olympic games where they're saying, you know what, actually this thing that we've tried to say is not a thing, all athletes are actually secretly doing it anyway, so let's just say let's push the humanity to its fucking final form and go at it and let these super athletes compete. So the fact is that the future moves forward regardless of, you know, whether or not there's some problems with certain things. Like people are still gonna fucking try it.
The only thing I'll say to that is, listen, I respect that take, right? My thing is, I just don't like when we decide to move forward with the risky shit and it goes bad. People come out, oh, see, this is why the space can't advance. This is giving the space a black eye. This is why we can't get anything done. This is why there'll never be in the mass adoption. I don't want to hear none of that.
Whenever that much of negative FUD comes out of the industry, it's always something centralized. It is never these smaller projects that on the fringes we hear about, but mommy doesn't hear about them. It's always fucking hacks. It's always fucking FTX or Binance or BitMEX. This type of fringe shit never makes it back.
How about Luna?
That was a huge fucking centralized Ponzi. How is this anywhere? They had billions of dollars in there. Which collection are we looking at right here that has a market cap higher than like fucking 20 million, Biggie? Like other than Pandora, which is the number one here, they're all like small, ridiculous projects. So the FUD piece is just weird to me because it's like all of this shit that gets back to Ante is always fucking FTX or Luna, which was a multi-billion-dollar fucking scheme. Not this like weird stuff that we're doing out on the fringes.
it was still smart contract based, and it
all
broke,
of
right?
the bridge hacks
Like
and all of that,
we
and
got
a
that
lot
black
of
swan, right? The unknown, and then it was whoopsies. I'm just saying, like I've been in the space long enough to let other people go first with these things, and I'm all for it. Respect, go for it. Um, I just like caution. Like I mean, one of the reasons I'm up here all the time is that I do want people to not have to go through a rug, to not have to experience the fucking bottom falling from under their feet, which I've felt several times. It fucking sucks. It depresses you. It makes you feel like shit. And so when I see this, and when I see social media just fucking immediately going out and pumping it, I know the intention behind it and the people that are benefiting from it. And that's fine. I'm just urging caution. That's all. You know, like as sexy and awesome and novel as it sounds, just like size correctly, ape correctly, however you want to phrase it. But to me, it's very important to highlight that other one. I don't see too many people doing that, Q. I don't see too many OX quits and other people saying, hey, consider this. You know, like most people are out there saying, this is novel, man. This is so cool. You should be in it. It was 2.4. It's now up to 8.4. You're missing out, bro. You know, like, oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. How many times do you have to hear that?
This is why we caveat everything with
that is, right? And to me, that's the part that I find exhausting.
Don't gamble anything you can't lose, y'all. This is not financial advice. We say it's high risk that this could go wrong. That's why we caveat this endlessly. But the truth is that literally every single one of these things that we talk about is the same way. Cappys could rug tomorrow. Cappys could rug tomorrow. Cappys is high risk too. It's all fucking high risk. And so that's why we say this a million times. So Biggie's right. Be fucking careful. Don't gamble with shit you can't lose. The way that I'm playing it is I'm putting a small little amounts here and there. But again, what I'm looking for is the next real innovation using this tech. I want to see a project and a team that comes out to create something really substantial with it. And then maybe I'll put a little bit more behind it. But right now I'm treating it like high risk, speculative fucking gambling.
I feel so since we've been covering this, guys, I feel like we've almost been having two separate conversations. I think, again, it has been both can be true. And that's, we've been talking across each other. I think one of them having the conversation on, yeah, maybe we could try this new tech stuff out. And also at the same time, be fucking careful. Huda, you've been tuning into the Lucky Trader space a couple times. I've seen you in there. They've obviously been over it. I haven't been able to tune in as much since I started Say What, but I feel like that is an example maybe of what Biggie is trying to talk about, which is like whenever I see Tyler talk about it, although again, I think he's a great ambassador for the space. It's always like, oh yeah, Pandora's at 12. Now it's at 24. Now it's at 30. Is he adding a disclaimer in here, or like how are they talking about it?
I don't think I heard I don't think I was listening for that part of the conversation with them, right? But I definitely think his audience is more of that cabal kind of, right? Like the like a lot of market movers there. So I don't know what their take ultimately
on
was
404s?
on the ERC.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I don't recall. I think when maybe I did hear it. I don't know. I don't want to speak on it if I'm mixing up spaces that I heard. But I don't know, man. I don't know why we're just urging caution. Like just caution, right? Okay. So first off, GIF made a beautiful point about it where the UX is the most important part of it, right? I didn't even think of that it's coming to you. You don't have to go use other platforms. You do everything you've already been doing, but you get all the bonus features all of a sudden. That's the perfect way to explain it. But then why just urge caution when OX Quit is saying this will be exploited? You can do this. You can steal NFTs. So it's like, should anyone be touching it at all right now in its current iteration? Like, who would throw $25,000 at this right now?
Well,
when he's saying this will be exploited?
I think the reason we urge caution,
incredible this thing is going to be, and that it's never going to stop, and it's going to hit 1,000 ETH.
Yeah, and I think,
but it can be exploited. Like that could be tomorrow.
Well, I said the reason I urge caution.
You know, the people that
Biggie, hold on, dude.
Sorry.
Come on, man.
I was just gonna say the reason I urge caution is because I know that no matter what, people are gonna use the shit regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just not gonna be able to tell people to stay away from it, and they stay away from it. So, I mean, just to put it out there, to say, or be cautious at least.
What were you saying, Biggie? I just want to go in order.
Oh, just that we all know the type of people that ape into this stuff. I mean, we have a word for it, right? Degens. Just what level of degen are you? Pick and choose your own adventure.
This one just seems extra weird when somebody's literally telling you, yeah, this code right here, see this? This means someone can steal NFT. What I wasn't clear about is, does it mean you can like steal back your own NFT for cheaper, like a lesser amount than like, you know, the full token value, the full ERC-20, or does it mean you can actually steal someone else's NFT? I think that's the part I wasn't clear on.
I think the potential is there to find a loophole. So what it does is it overloads certain aspects of the normal smart contract parameter in ways that are not usually done. That's his whole concern, is that by overloading it and kind of using these functions in ways that they're not usually used, you have this potential opportunity that might be exploited in the right circumstance. And that's what I don't fully know either, Huda, is that like, how difficult is it for people to game that circumstance? How hard is it for it? Because it seems the way that he's saying, it's like this is a pretty specific situation that he thinks like will likely happen at some point, but it didn't even seem like he even knows exactly when or how it would happen. So
I mean, the way he said it, though, I fully expect to see it in the wild. It just means it's just a matter of somebody actually doing it. That's what's weird to me. It's like imminent.
Yeah, it was like, okay, so first of all, it should have already happened. If he's writing about it, some other big brain motherfucker, there's always a bigger fish. Someone should have already done it. And now that it's out in the wild, why hasn't it been done? Is the question.
I think it's gonna.
Okay. It probably will.
I bet you within the next few days we see it.
Wolf K is saying, not going to lie, I'm a Jabba the Hutt size degen here. Easy and Crypto saying greed is the answer. Press your luck. Been hearing a lot about the new Magic Eden wallet. Guys, I hate to do this. Biggie Poppins, I don't know if this is gonna trigger you here, but this is exactly what you're talking about, where people are just gonna start creating 404s. They're saying whitelist only, engage the following. Like, this post kind of triggers me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I will say from a token perspective, I've been looking at some on base, so I have been getting in over there just because I'm already there. Clearly, it's EVM compatible, so these are able to be done over there. If you want to know what tokens I'm in, just fucking DM me. I don't want to clog up the convo here.
This is heavy degen plays though, y'all. Like right now, again, I think what I'm trying to say is that I think that this is a true innovation of the tech that could be iterated on to maybe create something really fucking interesting in the future. And that's why I'm saying it might be more than just a short-term meta. But in the meantime, right now, this is unproven. It is not audited. This is like heavy fucking degen high risk. So it's just to be clear, again, as Biggie and DP are pointing out, this is fucking like might go to zero tomorrow, like could get rugged. Everybody could lose their money that's playing with this shit.
Love it. All right, guys, we're going to transition out of that combo. I don't really have anything else. Those are like the main points of combo here to round us out. We're going to stop the show here in like the next 5 to 10 minutes. You guys have any last takes, what you're doing in the space? We didn't really even hit on Say today, other than the Cappys.
Let me drop some alpha if I could.
Please.
And I don't remember if we hit on this yesterday or not, but I feel like we might have. Okay. The artist behind the Quantum Cats, did we talk about this?
No.
Far.
Okay. Artist behind the Quantum Cats on the 13th, so what, in like 4 days, has an art collection coming out on Bitcoin. 512 editions. It's called Frames. Dude, I mean, his 1-1 sold at Sotheby's for $250,000. You see the prices of Quantum Cats. This is a very easy one. A very easy one.
Wow.
So be on the lookout for more info on this collection. I am wondering if you guys heard about this elsewhere.
No. Huda, keep us really posted on this one, because if I can get in on this, I'd love to get in on it.
Yeah, because Huda's gonna do some shit in the background and then come back and tell us about it.
Exactly.
It's like you guys.
Huda, you've been. Wow, I gotta push back. Come on.
I think I'm pretty.
Huda's amazing. Smash the like for Huda and his mullet, y'all.
Nah, I love Huda's alpha. It's just like some of it is like, damn, man, why didn't you tell us before you did it?
Wow.
Do you have any examples of that? Did I not share some?
I would love to see this. What receipt do you have, DP?
I don't know. I got to go back and look, but I know it's been something. I've been watching this channel like, no. Matter of fact, But I don't. You know what? I think you did share like what was it? The golden artifact, whatever that joint
variation.
was.
Golden
He's
ratio.
mixing me up with somebody else.
Yeah,
The golden ratio.
Golden ratio.
Golden ratio,
Did you
dude.
share that beforehand?
I bought that at the top. Yeah, I mean, like I got into that well after it had done.
Yeah,
its run.
he was the
here's who
first
you're
one to
actually,
bring it in
here's
here.
who you need to actually talk to right here. The guy in the big box.
Well, you know what? I mean, with GIF, but GIF.
I didn't mean for this to turn on you, GIF.
But you know,
What did I do?
I don't have
I-
either. I'm just
everything,
fucking
though.
around.
I'm literally talking about shit way before I can even afford it. Just like whatever I see that I think is cool.
I talk about shit before I even buy. People buy before me. So and
Yeah,
then
but-
I'm buying your bag.
We do have somebody asking what are the top or like most interesting BTC projects. Maybe that's one that Huda just shared. Looks very interesting. For me, the two that I'm like really interested in are Puppets and Golden Ratio. I still have one Puppet. I was able to flip one for like a nice 3x, and I want a Golden Ratio. That's like my current goal on BTC.
The fuck?
Yeah, just make sure you're going for Floras next week. That's the alpha. there.
Biggie, you have been on
think I
one
missed
this
some.
week, dude. What is going on?
Why? You guys are
Cappys FUD? Cappys
all,
FUD?
all we were literally like in this show. You were like 5 seconds ago. You're like, what the?
I
fuck?
hate 404s. I really do. I dislike the
You
combination.
hate Farcaster. You
I
hate.
know-
fuck
no,
you.
I
Watch
don't,
next
dude.
week. He's gonna come back with a whole different tune, and he's gonna be like, actually, guys,
my God, I'm
404s
stressed
are
out.
not that bad.
Biggie.
I don't know. There's other more exciting stuff. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be spaced out. It's just
Bro, ever
I'm
since you
gonna
got
drive
back
out to
from
wherever you
vacation,
are.
Biggie, you've been. I don't know, man. What's going on? You missing vacation?
I always miss the vacation, but like, yeah, man. I don't know, man. Just yeah, I don't know, dude. Fucking human, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah, the what the fuck was because Cappy got sniped that I wanted.
It's
Cappy.
Now
I knew it was
it all
Cappy
makes
related.
sense.
I missed it.
Biggie's
Yeah,
whole
look,
Biggie's
People.
entire emotions is all wrapped up in Cappy's the last couple of days. Everything is Cappy's right now, and if anything is going good or bad, it's because of Cappy's right now in Biggie's
All right.
world.
So I'm not going over to Pallet because I believe I can farm Pallet. I still have not confirmed this, but I believe I can farm Pallet points on Market Exchange. Although I don't get the multiplier, I get it.
Oh
Okay, but
shit! Like now
Cappy's-
I'm Kane Mayfield. Damn.
Cappy's is over here looking like it's sitting at 198 floor. These are just absolute, man.
Also, they're silently upgrading that platform too. I saw that you're able to sweep now. I see that they changed the way that at the bottom when you scroll to the bottom, it's a continuous scroll. Now you could just keep loading instead of going page by page. Well, I mean, when you go into a collection, right? You know how
You're
at
right.
the bottom,
Yep.
yeah.
You're gonna tell me.
I already told you I'm not shilling people. I'm not fucking gonna shill. I'm not gonna tell you why. I think they're adorable.
They're
That's it.
so bad, they're good, y'all.
And yeah.
What's the best trait other than the noggles? We know the noggles are good.
That Elvis jacket.
Noggles are great. Purple
Wow.
gummies and pink gummies are good. Obviously, like the food, what do you call it? The snacks fam. So there's like banana, fucking sandwich, a fucking not a milkshake. What is it? A soda. And then there's hot dogs that are going to be airdropped. Those are kind of funny.
They went the American flag route. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's the first
Yeah, well,
time I've
these are-
seen like a.
They're American truck stop capybaras. I mean, like what?
I didn't
Interesting.
put that together, but yeah, now I did. Press Your Luck saying Huda is the real DGen. Cam Taylor saying send nodes. Easy Kuda saying Biggie pulled a cane this morning. Interesting.
I did. What did I do? I'm curious as to what gave you the Kane Mayfield's vibe.
Wolf K saying he no vacation. Biggie's village is hungry.
Always.
What do you guys think of RSIC, by the way?
I'm not the guy. You got other guys up here.
Runes. I'd
Runes, I mean,
love to
development
I'd
yesterday.
love to do a deep dive into the Runes protocol and that project, kind of like we've done a deep dive this week on 404. So I don't know if there's not other like really big pushing new topics next week, maybe that can be something that we just kind of focus in on a little bit more, because that could be a huge deal. Like obviously there's a lot of momentum and interest around it.
Yeah, well, if anyone wasn't aware, because I guess I realized not everybody's like dialed into the Bitcoin side, but those RSIC or RSIC meta protocols, man, they've fallen to 0.08 right now. But that's because Casey Rodarmore, right, the creator of the Ordinals protocol, also the creator of this upcoming Runes protocol, he said he's going to be releasing the first 9 runes. Like he's going to hard code them. So the people who are using RSIC to farm a rune, hoping it would be the first ever rune, right, and maybe have some value because of that. It looks like that won't actually happen now, and that kind of FUD actually hurt that collection quite a bit.
Well, wasn't he saying that from the start though?
Casey, yeah. I don't think he ever said officially.
Because
I think there were plenty of people assuming he would do that. Why wouldn't he want to release the first rune when it's his protocol?
Well, maybe he wasn't saying he was going to release it, but I know it was a lot of FUD when they first dropped about them not being the first runes or.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. People just they wanted to assume and hope, and that's cool and all, but they reached an astronomical price around just pure speculation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Man.
interesting one.
All right, sorry, I had to pen an essay to Marty McFly there.
I thought you were converted and you were like sniping Cappys. I'm sorry. I didn't know we were live.
I love the Cappys standing that's going on up here. I will say, like, I know I'm giving him a hard time. It's more I'm just kind of leaning into it at this point, being the opposing force. But yeah, Say's doing well. I think right now where we sit, I think people are looking at like what's the next catalyst to make that energy come back on the pricing side. I think you do need to have some type of DeFi life over there, hopefully in the next couple months. Like Sailor needs to do well, Silo needs to do well, Yaka, all of these, like I would really like it. Cappys did not go to like 80 Say. That was a nice W for the industry. I think it clearly is just around mint price, but we'll see where they go. But yeah, man, I mean, it's been a week and a half, I would say, since we've seen any major movement.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. One of our NYC devs spotted like that they upgraded a particular contract on Say to like a V2 or something. Just wink, wink. Like I that gives me a tingly sensation that launch is imminent maybe for the upgrade, and I think that could definitely be a catalyst.
They said they were still expecting to do it, I think, in Q1. So that means, probably maybe by end of March. So yeah, maybe they're starting to ramp up for it.
Which one was this? V2?
We're talking about V2s, yeah. So say the
EVM
compatibility.
Yeah. That would be huge. I think that could be really big.
Here's another thing we're seeing. Like, there's not a lot of movement, like I've said, on the floor prices here for the last couple of weeks. That Alive 1111 post that we mentioned earlier that DP brought in, I mean, it's moving the floor price. You can see it's up 20% on the day. It's almost 300 Say. I think maybe there's some speculation that there's like holders get some type of benefit or anything like that. I know gamification has been important, but you can see Alive 1111 is the only thing that's moving. Burrows are up, it looks like, but what's up?
And now I was gonna say, I think it's also a bit of exhaustion too. Like you're starting to see, like even a lot of the threaders and stuff that have been very, very active throughout the last month, they're starting to slow down a little bit because I think with all of the airdrop madness that was going on, all the NFTs that were being released, I think it's just people are a little bit exhausted right now, so it's a bit of rest going on before we get to the real bull. So I think that's kind of what we're experiencing also.
Amen to that. Yeah, I definitely think there's some fatigue here of just the space. I mean, I know I'm feeling it, like trying to keep up with everything, right? And so I wouldn't be surprised if others are too.
Yeah, and Easy pointing out, more people still need to enter it with this many projects launching, right? It's saturation is a real problem without new entries, and we're still waiting for the larger catalysts to actually get more people into the space in general. Right now, SEI is just sort of like a microcosm of what was happening on other chains, right? It's still just people that were already in the space, splintering off more of their liquidity. There's not a bunch of new people coming in and bringing a bunch of new liquidity yet. And so, yeah, man, everybody's been hype and sort of riding that euphoria. But yeah, there's got to be catalysts and there's got to be new money and liquidity to come in. Otherwise, where does it go?
Fair takes. All right, folks, we're heading out of here. We're almost at an hour and a half. It's been a long week for a lot of different reasons, a long but productive week for hopefully all of my co-hosts up here. It's not easy, man. It's not easy bringing you these shows each day, and it's been a fun time here with you guys, though. You guys make it worth it. Okay, I think that's going to be it. Marty McFly, Easy and Crypto, Nick Swerve, Wolf K, Ola Art, Fisker. Who else was here? Choina. You guys are fantastic. Marty, I'm not trying to FUD you, sir. It's just I can only hear Yuga so many times, and then like that's where it comes from. It's too much Yuga FUD.
Yeah, Marty, you got to stick and move, brother. Stick and move.
All right, DP.
Spread the FUD. Spread the
FUD, and I'll listen to you more. I promise. DP, you start us off on this rotation here. Appreciate you joining us back-to-back days, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. Again, I'm just here to let people know that, I don't know if you're not tapped into Web3 and what we're doing over here, you aren't tapped into anywhere, right? I don't know anybody doing it like us. I keep saying that from start to finish. We bring you culture. We bring you arguments. We bring you laughter. We're bringing you, we're promoting good projects. We bring you alfalfa. Where can you get all of this in one fell swoop? Nowhere but here, So, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see us grow. I'm looking forward to what we got going on. I'm looking forward to Biggie being in a better mood next week. And
I thought you liked my rants, bro.
I do. I love your rants, bro. But it's been. I can tell you, you've been feeling. It seems like you've been a little stressed.
Other than Farcaster and 404, I
want to bring the blood pressure down a little bit.
Right on.
Huda, go ahead.
Man, what to say? Just another great week in the bag, and had so much fun with you guys here, like always. People watching, exact same thing. Always enjoy that you guys tune in and hang and interact and bring such awesome takes and your thoughts to the show. It does actually help and makes it so much better. People here put their blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff, and if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing from these guys that I'm looking at here on the stage, throw some OVOTs in the chat here for them, man. These guys grinding. Great guys.
Right, man, and thank you, Huda.
Yeah, dude, this crew's awesome. Smash the like. Appreciate you all, especially the Dobfather Nifty Q, who puts up with so much of our shit.
Man,
yes,
y'all put up with my shit.
OVOT.
No, hold on. Biggie's got to send us out this week. Biggie, this is the last show. You can send it out with a Cappy. You can send it out however the heck you like.
No.
Your way, Biggie.
I love you, bro.
No, dude, I fucking feel weird, dude. You motherfuckers are making me weird, dude. Like, I'm good.
lean into the weird, Biggie. Lean into it.
Have enough fucking sleep yesterday or the or another day. Like,
you're simply last on this wheel, sir. You're last in the rotation. I was just trying to set you up.
OVOT. I fucking love the vibe of this tribe, this family that we're building, this community that we've been going on for several years now, man. I am very excited about what's to come this year, So I just want to try to have us be prepared, because we always talked about during the bear market about, surviving. And so I think that if you're still here right now, you kind of survived. And now comes another part. And it's also survive, except I think the mindset needs to change a little bit. I think, you start getting to all this positive information, right? About the ETFs and BlackRock and 404s and Farcaster and all this stuff coming out. And it's awesome to see. I want to see more innovation and stuff, but I feel now you kind of have to pump the brakes a little bit. It's February, not even at the halving. I think, it's just smart to try to be a little bit even, attempt to be a little bit even keeled. That's my point. Love you. OVOT. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.